All right, welcome to the Triad UCC for October. Has anybody seen the presentation before? All right, so it's kind of a repeat. The format is basically the same if you've seen it before. I don't think it's going to change in between the UCCs will be the number. So you'll see it again this afternoon. October is Tackling Hunger Month. We want to bring everybody's awareness to that. If you use social media at any time and you do anything, I know Piedmont used to do the food bank in Winston-Salem. If you do donate your time, please take photos and upload that to social media. Some of the things you can do is you can do bulk food drives, go buy some. It says non-perishable, but everything's perishable, right? Everything has a shelf life. So stuff that has a longer shelf life. And we're looking at canned goods, peanut butter, dry beans, brown rice, olive oil, stuff like that. You can take to the food bank yourself. You can donate money if you don't feel like you have the time to be able to do that. They will accept the money. Sometimes it might even work out better in their favor because the food banks, I'm going to say, I don't know this for a fact, probably have deals with local grocery stores where they can go and buy stuff at a cheaper rate than we do. Last but not least, you can go and donate your time. You can help sort stuff, load stuff, take it to the folks who are going to receive it out there. So again, if you can help folks that are less fortunate than ourselves, please do so. Halloween safety tips. So Halloween just around the corner. We want you to make sure you have a way to reach your kids. I don't know anybody that's over the age of 10 or 11 who doesn't have a cell phone now, even the kids. Yeah. So there's that. My kids didn't go trick-or-treating without me. If they weren't old enough to go by themselves, you know, they're too old to trick-or-treat. But if they were younger than that, then mom and dad always put with them covered. Check all treat before eating, right? That's back in when I was growing up, it was a story of the razor blade, and there was never a razor blade. But there is a potential for the candy to be tampered with. So just check it to make sure. Drive carefully, especially if you're out where trick-or-treaters are going to be. Cars up and always use the description of cars up and down a subdivision, right? Because everybody likes to go there trick-or-treat. Kids will dart out between those cars trying to get to the house with the best candy, not paying attention. So it's up to you if you're driving to pay extra attention for them as well. Make sure I hit the wrong button. Make sure they're wearing light color clothing. I even said you can get the chem sticks that the military has. They come in different colors. They last anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. Break them, shake them. They're non-toxic, non-poisonous. Well, I wouldn't ingest them, but I mean, if you get them on your skin or clothing, it won't harm anything. We used to cut them in half at night and do them on the floor so nobody had to turn the light on. You can see how to get in and out of the tent for guard shift change. If your kids are allergic to any foods, peanut allergies, stuff like that, make sure they don't ingest that type of stuff. Keep your lights on if you're giving out candy at night on your security system. If you're going to be away, make sure if you do have cameras that you're pointing on areas because there are going to be some tricks as well as treaters out there, right? You don't want your yard rolled. If you do, you won't be able to capture the kids so they come back and clean your yard up or fix your flowers, whatever they trampled that night. Last but not least, use common sense, which is that's for everyday life, not just trick-or-treating. Mr. Lewis Panzer wants to talk about the volume, and you'll see on the third slide from after this one that the volume across the state is continuing to climb. The 3 C's he wants you to use while you're dealing with individuals: stay calm, be continuous, and communicate. And there's going to be another slide after this one that touches a little bit more on communicating. Letters are going out to those who created damages, supposedly professional excavators who are out there digging for whatever reason without a one-call ticket, right? It's free. You just have to wait the 3 days. But they're trying to figure out why folks are out there digging without calling 811 first. CGA released the dirt report, and that was prior to the national CGA meeting, which took place in San Antonio, Texas on the 18th. So that was supposed to be released prior to that. Looking forward, Mr. Tyler Ross, who rode with me yesterday to the Wake UCC, he's getting his feet wet, and we're going to get him up to speed so he can start taking over the western part of North Carolina to do his UCCs as well. So super nice guy. And last but not least, enjoy the fall weather and stay safe. So a little bit more about the communicate, a valid context. and we're asking folks, I know we're preaching to the choir here, right? But if you interact with folks out there who are requesting these tickets or actually excavating, make sure they're putting good caller ID, not Jill from the office, who, if somebody calls her and said, Jill, I need to know about this job. I don't know anything about that job. Why is that? Well, I don't know. I just call them. That's what they tell me to do. And then I continuously update it until they say, don't update it anymore. Yeah, so good contact information, field supervisor, crew leader, whoever it is out there in there that knows, is intimate with the job, their name and their good contact information on that request. Just a reminder. Extraordinary circumstances. Everybody ever heard that before? So we do that. There was a couple people from the remnants of the Hurricane Ian that did request extraordinary circumstances. Does everybody know where to find it? You know, where you find it?
Our ticket.
Okay. Well, what about if you want to know when it's going to start, when it's going to stop? How do you find it? It's called Piedmont Gas. But what if it's not Piedmont that's doing it? What if it's CenturyLink? Which it was CenturyLink this past time. Yeah, so 811, NC 811, and you go at the top, it'll be up here. You go to resources, member services. And I didn't change this one. There's some tabs up there. You have to hit on one of the tabs and it'll open up a bunch more, and extraordinary circumstances is under there. So it's really easy to find.
That's the all utilities using.
Yeah, so it'll say it's an Excel spreadsheet, and our service manager keeps that up to date. It's Leslie Brouillard, and she keeps that populated when it's going to start and when it's going to stop. So you'll have an idea of who's not going to look there. ID your marks. Everybody know this is the law, right? As of October 2019, operator ID has to be on that locate. It can be on the flag itself, or it can be in paint. What I do tell locators is if you do use the flag, make sure you put some paint down as well, because if somebody comes by and rips all your flag up, then you're outside the scope of the law, right? Your operator ID is no longer there. And that's section 87-121. Again, every 50 feet, it's got to be, if it's greater than 4 inches, it has to be annotated beginning to end, and every 50 foot, and 200 linear foot, beginning to end, and 200 linear foot on the operator ID. It's still happening out there that folks aren't doing it.
There's go back and forth where some people are under the assumption it's 4 inches or greater, or is it
Greater than 4 inches is the verbiage in the law. Greater than 4 inches.
We're just doing 4 inches.
Well, you're going above and beyond what the law stipulates, but if it's 4.5, then by the law, it has to be annotated on the ground. If you guys are using SOP 4 inches, then you're covered.
Yeah, just kill the argument, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else we got. All right, here is the numbers, and you can see it's across state North Carolina, and we're going to look at last month versus last year in September. Almost an 8% increase in the ticket volume, and this is across the state again. Excuse me, year to date 6.8, and so that's going to be January to the end of last year. Transmission is 3.4, and then year to date a 3% increase. Everybody remember the difference between a ticket and a transmission? Okay. I don't have to go over. All right, looking at precise, you can see the 3 hour increased 15.5%, the new ticket 2.4. Ticket updates are actually down 19.2, and the average location per day 271. Stokes, the 3 hour was no increase or decrease. It was both at 12. New tickets actually decreased 1.7, and the ticket updates 47.4. So Stokes is doing a great job. Average location per day 20. Unfortunately, Davie, their 3 hours fortunately went down 46.7. The new tickets increased 8%, but the ticket update increased as well, 48.2%.
Pretty good though, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a whole lot, but it's only 193 to 286. So
We'll have a lot of new tickets coming in the last 3 hours.
yeah, which is good. I mean, you guys have been able to meet your 3-day requirement, work day requirement. Average location per day in Davie, 42. I'm out of the range of my little clicker now for whatever reason. Forsyth, year to date, you can see the 3 hour has decreased 6.4%. New tickets increased 3.8, and ticket updates at 19,654 is a 0.3% decrease. Average locate per day in Forsyth, 309. Stokes, 3 hours down 45.9. The new tickets, 0.4% increase, and the ticket updates are down as well. Average locate per day, 23. And the 3 hour for Davie, 5.5% increase. The new tickets, 3.2, and the ticket updates, 25.5%. Average locate per day, 43. Forsyth had 6,234 tickets called in. Clemens made the list. Kernersville, Hofftown, Rural Hall, and Walkertown. Winston-Salem, 3,692. Stokes had 455. King had 188, only one in triple digits. And Davie had 957. Advance made the list, and Moxville. All right, as you can see, again, this is a slide that we've started incorporating. I think this is the third month we've done it. And these are the damages that have occurred by the excavator that by law are supposed to be reported to 811. As you can see, Davie had 1, Forsyth had 36, and Stokes had 1. So either folks are digging super careful around there, or all the damages are not being reported to 811. Excuse me. As a reminder, we want to let the owner operator know that if a damage does occur, the guys get called, you go out and make the damage. Follow up with 811 to make sure that the excavator is following the law. If they didn't, then at least we can capture it when the utility owner lets us know. Some things that are that are happening, or some things that have passed. The NC State or NC UCC meeting is going to be November the 8th next month, and that's going to be in Asheville, Dominion Energy. If anybody would like to go to attend the NC UCC, that'd be a nice little drive, and that does start at 10 a.m. The Underground Damage Prevention Review Board has already met, and the NC 811 board has already met, so I'm not going to cover those two. The LRPC is going to meet November the 16th. That's going to be on Wednesday. That's going to be at the 811 Event Center if you would like to attend. Has anybody been to the facility before? Again, Bill, it's right down the road, man. So go check it out. So the LRPC, in case you don't know, is a buffer or a bridge, if you will, between the UCC, the local, and then the state UCC. Hey, here's the problem we keep having. Folks are, the continuous update ticket. Hey, start digging into those, find out why folks are on the list. And there may be one of the contractors in this area that makes that list a lot, that works for somebody in this room. Probably not sure they are. Just say, hey, Safe Digging Sports, we're going to be at the NC State football game Thursday night. We're going to have our mini excavator, and then whatever giveaways we have left, it's going to be Howard, Corey, and myself. Game, I think, starts at 7, so we're going to get there a little early, set up, and then if anybody plans to attend, come by, stop, check us out. On the same note, Ms. Ann Rushing is on the Safe Digging Sports webpage, Facebook. So she's done some podcasts. I believe Mr. Brian Morehouse, before he left, did some podcasts in the past, so you can check us out. I don't do Facebook, and I don't see that page, so I'm not really sure what's on it. But if you are a social media fan, please go check us out. Like us, friend us, whatever. Elections are coming up next month. First, we want to remind everybody, it's your civic duty to go vote. Second, if you are around any polling station, especially on that one day, make sure that if you see anybody excavating, that they have a ticket, number one. Anybody know how you can do that without engaging them? Near ticket on the NC 811 app, right? If they don't, stop them, because we want every vote to count. If the communication goes down or the power goes down in the polling station, that's going to be a no bueno, right? And then that's going to make at least local state news, if not national news. Hey, so many votes didn't get counted because XYZ company was digging without a one call ticket. So yeah, thank you for being a force multiplier out there for us and stopping that stuff. Let them know. Hey, I'm going to upload this along with the PDF and the sign-in roster to the NC UCC, the ones that Zach can't get on because Piedmont Natural Gas is blocking them. And so he can't go and check the minutes out or anything later. But yeah, we're gonna upload that so you can grab it, send it to your friends and say, hey, here's what we talked about. Here's the PDF. There's a good look at education team, in Rushing. And then Tyler will be on here next month. I understand that we've already done a little preview of the presentation. His smile face will be on there as well. So thank you for your time and attention. Please invite your coworkers, invite folks who work for you, the SECs. Thank you for being here today. That locates for Piedmont Natural Gas. How about your Watch and Protect program? Usually those folks are online too, at least online, if not in person. They're invited to these as well. So looking forward to having those. Now, this UCC is Dwayne Barber. Did he say he's going to be the chairperson for this, or was that in the past? Or I can't remember.
I don't know. I was just looking at that. I mean, a lot of that information I think is incorrect.
Oh, did you get on?
I did. But
Oh,
I couldn't see any pictures or anything. All I could do was read.
yeah, it's just the name. And I'm not looking at it. I was thinking it was somebody else. I'm not sure who put his name on there. It could have been me. I'm probably not sure. But yeah, I don't have his contact information or a picture from him. But hopefully, if Kevin may have told me to put his name on there. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah. So if you know anybody who would benefit from attending this, we need to get these numbers up, especially since this is the 3 counties. So we got one person representing each county, I guess.
Especially with
But yeah.
the first second.
Yeah, I mean, Winston-Salem, they got a bunch. We're right here in their back door. I don't know why they're not attending these, but yeah. So I'm gonna quit sharing my screen.
Has anybody looked at the list to see where it's going, where all it's going to?
Yeah, I can look at it right here. So we'll go over any new business that needs to be discussed. I'm sorry, any old business from the last meeting. Now this, the meet every other month. The last time we were in advance at the EMS station. I would like to do, so since this only meets every other month, it'll be 3 months there and then 3 months at the end of the year here at Piedmont Natural Gas. If everybody is acceptable to that. That way we'll give a chance for those folks to attend and then you guys here. Hopefully you'll make that short drive. That's not that far.
It said that, it still says that the meetings are next door or at the water treatment plant.
Yeah, I hadn't updated it, but I did update my invite. And if you go to the calendar, it should have the address for here, 2300 Lower Street. So, any old business from the last meeting? Any new business? And it can be, hey, this is the issues we're having out in the field, or the projects that are going on that we're actually locating for. Yeah, so talking about GAC is putting it in for who? Okay, who is now Loomis? Okay.
We got a big job kicking off over in the Wahlberg. It's right at the Davis and Forsyth County line. Couple miles of pipe road over there, basically out of Wahlberg into Winston.
It's High Point, we're seeing the cost. High Point's just getting shredded with fiber job.
So where you guys run the gas line in Wahlberg?
Basically connecting High Point and Winston together, right there where they haven't been for years.
Oh, okay. So they're doing
One of nine.
a system infrastructure upgrade?
Yeah, they're getting ready to take a transmission line out of commission, so they're having to.
They're gonna have backfeed some stuff. Okay.
But do you know when that was, I was the supervisor for them.
They went and did a site walk last week, so I would say probably within the next month or so, probably start something there. So just keep an eye out for locates. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard anything about putting your logo on your flag?
For operator ID?
I didn't know, I don't even know where they sort from probably first down.
I stopped doing that years ago. We've been talking about bringing that back as far as for light.
What do they say on it? Just natural gas?
Yeah, it just says natural gas, underground natural gas pipeline.
I can talk to Roger, you may know.
Did you say that would be about 2 miles west of this?
It's, I think it's between 2 and 3 miles there. Pretty bad job.
Well, they're running 6 inch?
I don't know, I'd say it's probably pretty good stuff, pretty good number.
So we won't meet again next month. We will meet in December. You guys want to meet on the 28th? Yeah, I've already canceled that. We won't meet in January. We will meet February. So I'll reach out to the EMS and we'll move back over there to the EMS. Again, I think for the first 3 months or first 3 times we meet the first of the year, and then the last half, if Piedmont's okay with it, we'll meet over there. If that's okay with everybody else, and Dwayne Barber who's the chair.
You said it was Guilford?
Yeah, it's at 13:30. I'm personally inviting you to it now.
Appreciate that.
To the ops center. Or into the ops center, you been to that one, haven't you?
I don't,
Yeah, but
I know if there's one, gonna be one for Yadkin County, because the way my area, because I do Iredell, Davie, and Yadkin, and so I have a different, like, Davie's in this Triad one, and then Tammy covers Iredell, whatever else, and then I guess, I think Brian Morehouse used to cover Yadkin.
Yeah, Tyler can do that one now.
611 Greenback Drive. Yeah, we don't cover, well, we don't cover Yadkin County.